it's incomings that there's about 8,000 questions around in the chat panel. And probably we'll maybe start with the very latest one, which may surprise people as well. Milos Kerkez, that's been tweeted, hasn't it, in the last sort of 20 minutes. Now, you actually said a while back you expected the fee to be around 40 million quid, a little bit different than the 45 million quoted. I know you'd said that on this pod as well. So kind of what you expected, kind of what you're being informed from the details?
Yeah, I mean, someone told me about 3 weeks ago it was going to end up being 40. And I think basically the only holdup was that there was a little, very small detail. I'm not really sure what it was, some sort of legal issue that was holding it up. But obviously, as I did a piece on him yesterday, and I said in there that Liverpool and Bournemouth had shaken hands on 40 million, but none of the aggregators picked that one up. So they're all been sleeping. But yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's done, isn't it? So he'll be doing his medical and stuff next week, I presume, and officially unveil next week at some point. Good player, as we've talked about a lot. Good signing for Liverpool. Very young player. He's only going to get better under Arne Slot as well. So yeah, that one's done. Wirtz is done. So it's Liverpool are getting a lot of business done early this summer.
I've got to ask you about that other player as well. But actually, there is one question, because I know you love what I call the backstory in your articles, bringing a bit of colour with Bratverse, singing all sorts of tales. What did you make of Milos and Papa Kerkez's interview on Serbian TV talking about this transfer and the way they went about things? That's unique even for us, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I wouldn't be very happy if I was a Bournemouth fan, let's put it that way. But, I think everyone's known that Kerkez is coming to Liverpool for some time now. I think going back months even, it's been pretty obvious that his first choice was Liverpool, even though there was interest from elsewhere. Yeah, it's a bit strange, I think, going on TV and telling people it's done before it's done, but, can't really blame him. He's obviously, you can look at it two ways. You can also say, look how buzzing he is to come and play for Liverpool. But yeah, maybe he should have been a little bit quieter about that. But there we go. He's a young lad, isn't he? So you can't blame him. He's buzzing to come to Anfield and Liverpool. So yeah, it's nice to see. It's a bit different as well. We can play when players are too what's the word, like media trained. So it's nice to see. Nice to see him just being honest and not lying about things, which a lot of players would.
Yeah, we'll give him that. That's a fair point. And we're yet to see it all done, Florian Wirtz. But as far as we understand, the media team have done their job. Is it right that medicals are passed? We're just waiting for the grand unveiling, for want of a better phrase.
Yeah, medical is done. Florian flew to Liverpool yesterday, started his medical yesterday. Finished it today, as far as I'm aware. And what is it? 12, nearly 1 o'clock. So maybe we'll have a official announcement in the next few hours, late afternoon, early evening. If it's not today, then it'll be tomorrow. So, but I think it'll be today. But let's see.
And a little twist of a question on this: what shirt number do you reckon he'll take?
Yeah, it's a weird one. Someone suggested 12 or 19. I'm not sure how I feel about the number 12. Seems a bit of a boring number, and obviously, someone's got 12 at Real Madrid now, hasn't he? So I don't know. It's weird. He wears 17 for Germany.
Yeah.
But Curtis Jones has that. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But one thing I would say on the shirt number, even if it seems a bit of a boring number to start with, he can sort of make it his own, and then suddenly in 5 years you'll see kids at League Two clubs saying, "Oh, I want the 12. I want the 12." Or whatever number it is, 19. It was the same, like any sort of wacky number that people have, like 42, Yaya Toure. Loads and loads of midfielders have 42 now.
Yeah.
And 66. I'm sure there's some youth fullbacks in Sunday League asking for the 66 over the last 10 years. So yeah, it'll see what he has. Maybe 27 or 19, 12. But we'll find out today, hopefully.
Yeah, we should do. Fingers crossed. We'll stay poised for that one. Now, for the striker bit, I'm actually going to read you a quote. I'm going to read you a few words and we'll see if you can get this. Who said these words? Around Alexander Isak, I wouldn't rule it out. What we can say is that Newcastle don't want to sell him for cheap. I'd say it'd have to be, let's say, a ballpark figure of 130 to 140 million. Are Liverpool realistically going to pay that in a summer where they've signed Florian Wirtz? It's hard to see it, but I wouldn't completely rule it out. Any ideas, Mr. Lewis Steele?
Was that me?
It was you on the beach, indeed, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I suppose the question is, are those sentiments still the same?
Yeah, definitely, exactly that. I've just recorded my latest YouTube video that I'll put out later today, and I basically say, is it probable? No. Is it possible? Yes. It's not impossible. It's just not likely at this stage. Do I have a sneaky feeling? I'm not sure just yet, but Liverpool are clearly keen on Isak. Newcastle definitely don't want to sell him. Let's see what happens.
Now, you use this word, just remember this when I press you on this question, because it was the same line for Florian Wirtz. And then you did your video where you say, just stay put because I've got a sneaky feeling about this. And then we know what followed for Florian Wirtz. So are we poised and waiting for another quote unquote sneaky video and just see what unfolds?
Possibly. Let's see how the next week goes. The Newcastle people seem to be very adamant that they will not sell him at any price. So maybe Liverpool will be put off by that. But, I think basically if he could move to Liverpool, I think he would. I think he would want to move to Liverpool. But it's whether Newcastle would sell him, whether maybe even a little gentleman's agreement, 1 more year, and then leave next summer. It wouldn't be the end of the world for anyone. I mean, it may be like Liverpool will be a little bit light in the attacking department, but I think the Wirtz signing sort of makes up for that a little bit if they don't sign a number 9 this summer. But maybe. But let's wait and see. It's an awful lot of money. It's not like he's 20 years old. He's in his mid-20s, so there's that to consider as well. So I think Liverpool would be considering all of those things, but it's definitely clear he's like the dream signing for any club around Europe at the moment.
Yeah, it does seem to be our dream signing. And I suppose the other forward to mention to you, because this name keeps coming up. We've talked about him before. Maybe the alternative, who knows? Hugo Ekitike, French, Eintracht Frankfurt. This is a name that keeps coming up, and he's not gone to Chelsea. It doesn't like he's heading to United either. Do you think if Isak, the dream, does die, it could well be Ekitike?
Yeah, it's a strange one, Ekitike, because his name keeps coming up, but it's never more than just Liverpool like him or they're interested in him. It's never stepped up to anything more than that yet. So I don't know whether that's like a bit of a false herring sort of thing, but from what I understand, from what the Liverpool top dogs have been saying, is that Liverpool want a forward this summer. They want someone who's young, who's versatile as well, can maybe play off the wings if needs be. I don't know if that rules out Ekitike. I think they definitely have shown an interest in him, but it's not too much more than that at this stage. Obviously, maybe that one will step up in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that's the alternative. But number 9s, Liverpool are definitely looking at them. And with Jarell Quansah going, this kind of exploded again in the last 24, 48 hours. You wrote this one as well. Liverpool back in the race for Marc Guéhi. I mean, there's been different suggestions we've seen today. How serious does the interest seem right now in Marc Guéhi for Liverpool?
I would say it's semi-serious. It's not like they're not completely all in on him at this stage, but that could change very quickly. I think they liked him last summer, but maybe they noticed his contract situation. I think I don't think Guehi is the only centre back that they're looking at. I just think that he is one of the options But if he is available at that cut price fee, with him only having a year left on his deal, then I think Liverpool will step it up, because he's a very good player. Palace fans absolutely adore him. He's a leader. He's their captain. He won the FA Cup, first trophy that they've won in I don't know how many years, million years. And he's got all their modern centre back traits. He's on the team sheet for England going into the World Cup next summer. I think him and Stones really good last summer at the Euros. So yeah, it would make a lot of sense if they sign Guehi. Just don't think he's the only option at the moment. I think they definitely want a centre back, and that has obviously been more clear with the Kwanzaa to Leverkusen story that's come out in the last week.
Yeah, which again, everything seems to be accelerating so fast. And I suppose it seems to be potential right now. Kwanzaa out, Guehi in. The natural question in almost the pecking order and where it stands, and we've talked about this player before, where do you think that would leave Ibou Konate, if in fact it does have any effect on it at all?
Yeah, so Konate obviously has got a year left. I think Liverpool really don't want to have the same situation they had this year with Trent leaving on he didn't leave on a free, but you know what I mean, leaving at the end of his contract sort of thing. So it's an interesting one. I think Konate, Real Madrid are definitely keen. Konate's not fully made his mind up. Talks have been ongoing, but there's been no progress. So it's one to watch. I don't know how much they would get for Konate if they sold him this summer, but maybe it's one where they look at and think, if he is going to leave, maybe we need to cash in on him. But I wouldn't do that personally. I don't think that will happen, but it could happen. But yeah, it's interesting with the three centre-backs all sort of having uncertain futures. And then obviously there's Van Dijk. If you look at his long-term future, he's only got 2 more years. So the main priority is a young centre-back that can eventually be the Van Dijk replacement. So I think they're looking at young defenders that you see. They looked at Yoro last season, looked at Huijsen at the start of this summer.
Yeah,
I think what they want is clear, and that is a young centre back that can grow into Van Dijk's shoes over the next few years.
Yeah, and even the name like Hato keeps coming up into the mix. So we'll see if there is any young centre halves purchased at the same time.